Here is really my ninth year of entrepreneurship journey, and also seventh year being here actually in SFF. So as a startup founder, you know your natural thinking when you are told to give a speech, you try to actually do a sales pitch. So actually, I was actually reading my sales script actually for actually this sharing actually in this morning. But then later on, I realized no sales pitch here. I'm not allowed to do any sales here. So only personal story. Yeah. So that's also why actually it's so powerful to really stand up in this stage. So today, I want to share with you 3 stories of my personal startup journey. First one, about curiosity. Second one, about ikigai. Third one, about love. So the first story is about curiosity. It's about the intrinsic motivation of founding a startup. So when I was coming to Singapore, I was born in China, then got the scholarship to study here in Singapore. I come here alone, without my family. So I was really curious about how this country, Singapore, becomes so successful. So I was really a kid at like 16 years old. I know nothing about this country, and it's my first time to really go overseas. So I'm just curious to learn about this one. That's why I found out the founding father of Singapore. I was lucky enough because I was playing soccer at that time. That's how also I actually break my arm here, yeah, because I play soccer too hard. But as a result, I also get a chance to meet the founding father of Singapore, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, in 2011. Yeah. So he was really the one actually inspired me a lot. Not only actually founding a startup, but founding a country. That's why people call it. Singapore is not a Singapore as a nation, but also Singapore Inc. It's a startup itself. So sometimes you need to really stay open, be curious about actually what's really the future about in order to really do something new. And my second story is about ikigai. I don't know how many of you heard of the word ikigai. Okay, not many of you. Okay, yeah. So basically, ikigai is a Japanese word. So that's actually a word when I get my personal coach ready to share with me when I was really very lost. Oh, sorry, because my story changed quite a lot, so the script actually changed also a little bit. So this is the story how I started my first startup. And the second story is about this ikigai. So ikigai means basically it's really the intersection of what you are good at, what you are paid for, and what actually you are really passionate about, and also what the world needs. That's really the intersection of all these 4. So basically, it's also something about really what's the meaning, and also what's actually you are getting paid as money. So what's really your motivation internally? I was really asking myself a lot about what's really the ikigai. And today I was also quite lucky to have a few of our FOMO colleagues here as well, as really our team is really getting larger and larger. Yeah. So I also share with them, what's your value? Why you want to join a fintech startup here? You can actually go to bank, get a very high-paid job. But what's the meaning you're creating? What's really the impact you are creating? Why you actually left your job in the bank and joined us as a fintech startup here? And when we started our company, at that time, we have even not heard of this word, fintech. Only when I Google it, okay, it just means financial technology. Right now, everyone knows about the word fintech. But 9 years ago, when we just created this company, we only know, okay, it's a very boring payment company, and now known as a fintech company. And now we start to really find what's really the meaning. As long as you keep really looking for it, then you will find the meaning along the way. Through this startup journey, I managed to really actually meet the new president, also Mr. Taman. This morning, I was also very honored to have a breakfast meeting with actually Mr. Ravi. He's really one of really the founder of the recent MS, as also the founder of SFF. And also, just like 1 hour ago, I was also very lucky enough to meet actually Miss Deng Yaping. She's also like 4 times Olympic champions. Nothing to do with fintech, but as long as you are really pursuing something, inspire you, you realize, oh my God, dots are connected to each other. So as long as you are really pushing yourself to the best, sometimes you will find actually what actually you are looking for. And this last story, it's about love and fear. Because I was just now actually, Navin actually shared, so I was a little bit like unfortunate because I was running, I started my startup in my third year in my university as a scholar here. I was really so worried about, I got an F as a scholar. Wow, that's something never happened. Yeah, my parents will really, never accept this. That's how I got my scholarship here, but I got an F. It's not because I didn't really study well. It's because I didn't even go to the final exam. I was actually running my startup. Yeah, when my co-founders, they are all actually taking the exam. They ask, hey, Zack, are you free on this day? Okay, then I will actually just go for that client meeting. I went to the client meeting, and I got an F. That's something I didn't really sleep for the entire night. But on the second day, I say F for FOMO. That's how I convinced myself after really the whole sleepless night. And that's also something I learned about love and fear. After really running the startup actually for almost 7 years back in 2021, because during the pandemic, I cannot really do anything. I was fully actually put myself immersed in the startup world. So I got a chance to take a pause. Then I went to my dream school, Stanford. So for every entrepreneur or every startup founders, so you know that actually Stanford is really known for the entrepreneurship. But then I went to Stanford. I realized entrepreneurship cannot be taught in the school. You go there, Stanford is still one of the best university, and GSB is one of the top business schools. But when I talked to the Eric Yuan, he's the founder of Zoom, I asked him, what you learned from Stanford days? He told me, it's just actually about the environment. It's about the people here you are meeting every day that inspired you to help you to find what's your intrinsic motivation. And that's something I also try to use the business school words to really explain what I have experienced. So something I remember my professor told me is called retrospective rationalization, meaning you can only look backwards, then you can realize what's really the logic behind. So I use the retrospective rationalization to understand my startup journey. What's really my intrinsic motivation? It's really love and fear. Find what you love to do. Find what's your passion. Wake you up every day, keep you sleepless in the night, and also find the fear. That's really the fear of missing out, which actually is also the name of our company. And this is also the word really very popular for the Web3 world, which actually FOMO right now we are moving from the Web2 to the Web3 world. But as really the founder of FOMO, I want to also share with everyone a new definition of FOMO. FOMO was known as fear of missing out, but not only be fear of missing out, try also be first one moving out. I was really inspired by one of the greatest founders in the world. It's my personal model, Steve Jobs. And in his speech, actually in the Stanford graduation ceremony, he shared with everyone a very good message. Stay hungry, stay foolish. But today, I want to also share with everyone my version. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and stay FOMO. Thanks, everyone.